I want to share a story with you guys about how I manifested my dream flat because this is one of my experiences of law of attraction that it just felt magical, okay? It gave me goosebumps when this actually kind of all panned out for me. And it's a story I always come back to as signs that law of attraction works, and it is incredibly powerful when you get intentional about what it is you want, when you let the universe know what your desires are. So this was actually a number of years ago now that I manifested this. I'm now actually, this is probably a story for a different video. I'm now currently sat in my house that I manifested. But yeah, that is for another video. But this is a number of years ago. I was living in London with my partner, and we were basically living in this flat we couldn't afford. We really wanted this flat, but we couldn't afford to just have it by ourselves. So we were living in the living room of the flat, and we rented out the other bedrooms. So it was a 2-bedroom flat, and there was far too many people living in this flat. It was it was pretty cozy. So anyway, we were in this flat, and I had just started building my business, and I was doing a lot of work on my mindset and on my spiritual growth and learning all about the law of attraction. And one thing I realized was that your environment has a huge impact on your vibration, right? So, if you're in a really high vibe surroundings, you're naturally going to feel more high vibe, right? And you're going to become a magnet to more high vibe things. Now, did most of my work from this living room, which was my bedroom, which was my living space. I would work from my bed because I didn't have a desk, and I'd have like a cushion under my lap. And that's kind of where I'd sort of build my business in the morning, in the evening, before and after work. And I realized that this isn't the high vibe environment I want to be in. If I want to manifest more success in my business, in my life, I need to change my environment. And so I got really intentional about this new flat that I wanted my partner and I to move into. And I put this flat onto my vision board. I had lots of different images of the flat that I wanted us to move into. And at the time, I didn't really know how it was going to be possible because we wanted to stay in the same area of London that we were living, and to have a flat just by ourselves just seemed to be a bit of a big ask. And I didn't just want a 1-bedroom flat, I wanted a 2-bedroom flat because I wanted one of the rooms to be my office. I wanted to be able to have this amazing office space for myself that I could work from. So didn't really know how it was going to happen, but that doesn't really matter when it comes to manifesting. We don't need to concern ourselves with the how, we just need to get clear on the what, okay? What is it do I want? So I got clear on the what, put all of these pictures on my vision board, and I then started to do the work, set the wheels in motion for manifesting my desires. So a lot of this was working on my beliefs, working on my energy. I was taking inspired action because I was doing this, working on this amazing business that I was passionate about. So I was doing my part, and I was surrendering. I was just trusting that if that new flat was supposed to be mine, I would eventually receive it. Anyway, it was literally a matter of months of doing this work that I was coming out of my flat one day, and I bumped into the guy that owned the flat next door. So the flat next door, they'd been doing all of this renovation work on it, and I bumped into him and I was like, I've seen that you've been doing this work. Me just being a little bit nosy and absolutely, loving property and just wanting to see inside his house, basically. I said, would you mind if I had a quick look around? And he's like, sure, come in, you can see all the work that we've done. Anyway, I go into this flat and I was like, wait a second, this looks pretty much like my ideal flat that I had up on my vision board. The walls were all white. At the time, I was really into sort of whites and greys and very, very neutral, which I kind of still am now, to be fair. It was also just very white and clean, all very new. And I was just like, this is it. I was like, this is my flat. And I was a bit disappointed because I thought, well, it's his flat. So yes, it's the one that's on my vision board, but this is his flat and he's probably just about to move into it. So as we were leaving, I was like, oh, so when are you planning on moving in? And he said, well, actually, I'm not going to be moving into it. I'm going to be renting it out. So at that point, I was like, oh, okay, so this is interesting. But there was a part of me that felt, well, it's probably going to be way out of our budget, given that it's a 2-bedroom flat and it's in this area, and I know what flats around here go for. So I said to him, I was like, oh God, well, actually, my partner and I, we were thinking we'd like to move, we'd like our own space. I absolutely love the flat. Do you know what you're going to be renting it out for? And then he said to me, well, I'm actually Australian and I'm split my time between London and Australia, and I want to go back to Australia. So I really want to get this rented out as soon as possible. And, you know, if I wasn't having to go through an agent, that means I'm not having to pay those fees. So I could probably give it to you for a lot less. And then he told me a figure. And this figure was way less than what I thought that this figure would be. And so I got really excited. I was like, listen, I need to go and speak with my partner. I'm sure we can figure this out, but I'm really, really interested. So before you put it on with an agent, just hold fire for 2 seconds. Anyway, cut a long story short, within the space of a week, we had moved in to this flat. So things happened very, very quickly. And it was, as I said, it was pretty much the flat that I had on my vision board. And when I looked back at it, I was like, oh my God, I was like, this is working. I was like, it gave me the goosebumps. It felt magical. And that's it. When law of attraction starts to work for you, and understand that the law of attraction, right? It is always working, but it's either working in your favor or it's not. You're either getting what you want or you're getting what you don't want. And when it does work, when it works in your favor, it feels electric. And that was kind of basically one of my best experiences of the law of attraction, which I wanted to share with you guys just to inspire you. And that first thing was just getting clear on letting the universe know, like, hey universe, this is my desire. This is a physical representation of what I want. Sticking that on your vision board. But yeah, have you got any similar stories though? Like, what has been your biggest manifestation to date? Like, what's been one thing that you've manifested that when it appeared, you were like, oh my God, like, it almost like you couldn't believe that it had come so quickly. I would love to know. So let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this story, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. All right, ladies, well, I will speak with you again very, very soon. Lots of love. Bye.